check, check, jiggity, check yourself before you riggedy, rig, wreck yourself. Da da da.
Hello and welcome to Hardly Working, the show about life, love, and labor, hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm Kelly.
And I'm SP, and it's the week after Thanksgiving. The food comas have set in. The sales have ended, and the work, boy, is it piled up in the midst of rest and relaxation. It's another week. Big week.
What's rest? What's relaxation?
I don't know. I think we have 7, maybe 8 gigs over the course of the next 6 days. So
Something like that. 7 days, maybe.
I have nothing today. No, 6, unless you got one.
On Sunday.
Yeah, that's the 6th day of the week when you don't count Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so 7 or 8 gigs in the next 6 days. We'll see how it goes.
Wish us luck.
Wish us luck, and we'll tell you all about it. It might even be so busy that it becomes a working through it. Who frickin' knows?
Yeah, maybe we'll be here next week. Maybe we will just be passed out on the floor. We don't know yet.
Yeah, it's going to be a podcast with a ghostly version of us laying on the floor just talking into our microphones like this. Dead.
I don't think they heard you. Just
Probably
kidding.
not. Well, you're going to have to get used to it because that's what next week's episode is going to be like.
Oh my gosh.
But before then, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did. I'm still in a ham coma because I don't eat turkey.
Yeah, I realized that this year everyone's like, tryptophan coma. I was like, we didn't even eat turkey. This is just,
No, it's
just
just from
overeating
eating.
coma.
I actually don't feel like I overate, but I was just tired.
I did not overeat until I got to my mom's house and there was no less than 48 pies there.
And you had
And then I
all
felt
of them.
like, yeah,
Huge
it was good.
slices.
My mom made, I guess, an apple pie that she hasn't made in my lifetime.
But she used to make before you.
I guess, yeah, it was fun. Lots and lots of apples, delicious, and a lemon meringue pie. Fun fact: I always mix up key lime and lemon meringue because it's kind of the same thing.
Good.
And that was
Citrusy.
citrusy pies, which is how I like my pies. Ryan got, not for me, but thinking of me, got a
Key lime pie.
I almost called
So
it lemon
good.
meringue. And your brother had a banana. It's not a banoffee.
Pokey cake.
Yeah, I didn't understand all of the description of that. Did you?
I think it's like I think it's like a banana cake where you poke holes and you maybe pour banana liqueur in.
Something like that.
And then he put
it's supposed to flambe it, maybe. I
maybe
don't
he
know.
put cookie butter crumbs on the top or something like that. It was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Good.
You didn't have any of that one.
You know, it's weird. I didn't have any dessert until my mom's house. Thank God.
Not even the key lime pie that my brother got.
I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to get to it, but I was trying to listen to my body.
I think
And a
that's
lot
good.
of people ate the key lime pie. We were totally fine.
Yeah,
Totally
we
fine.
should have taken the rest home. But anywho,
It's true. Speaking of things that happened during the holiday season, I've hit 100 as of today, 101 days.
yeah.
I was going to go 30
Woo.
days with no drinking. We've hit 101.
Woo, life is less fun. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll tell
It's
you
so
what, if
much
I was
more fun.
going to drink, it was going to be yesterday on day 100.
Oh
Not
my
because I was
goodness.
celebrating, because day 100 was terrible. What a horrible day.
Not because you weren't drinking, though.
It was worse.
Wasn't
because I
correlated.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
No, and to be clear, I will be back drinking at some point. Probably by
Occasionally.
I don't know. Might be by the Harley holidays. I have no idea. But yes,
Who
much
knows?
more occasionally. But 101 days. I want to throw that out there. If
101.
you're thinking about doing it, give it a shot because it will make your life better.
You could, in theory, have a Dalmatian for every day that you've not had alcohol.
You would like that, wouldn't you?
I don't think I like Dalmatians, actually.
I don't either. They're kind of pretentious and stuck up
Yeah, and they're
in
not-
my mind.
They're not like soft and like shaggy like
Yeah.
a corgi or a golden retriever.
And you
or
don't
an
see a lot
Aussie.
of Dalmatians. Like just
yeah.
walking around the neighborhood or anything.
I know.
Maybe they're not real. Maybe
they
they're
are. They are
firehouse
real.
dogs that get painted.
They're
Are you
true.
sure?
Also, did you realize the other day, do you remember when we were sitting at the table for one of the Thanksgiving dinners and I asked someone what type of dog it was? And I was like, oh, was it an Aussie? And she was like,
Like,
no.
no.
And then
It's
someone is an Australian Shepherd. And she went, yeah. And I
Yes.
was like, yeah, that's what I said.
You're like, okay, cool.
I was like, so you
Great.
don't know what the dog, it's cool.
Yeah, that was
Anyway.
really funny.
It's like, I was right.
Yeah, you were totally right.
I want an Aussie.
You know what? One day that might happen.
I know. They're so cute. They're like kind of like bigger corgis. Like a big corgi mixed with the golden retriever is what they remind me of.
Corgis are still cute. You know what sucks is in the world of deep fakes and AI, I now no longer know if these cute dog videos are real or if it's just AI.
You can normally tell.
Well, remember
There's
that
normally
video
a word spelled not like a word or like something off.
Well, yes, but remember the video we watched of a cute, what looked like a corgi, but it was like a black lab, and it had 2 butterflies
That's
land
not
on its
real.
nose? That doesn't feel real.
I mean, I think it may have been real. But
See, that's what I'm saying. No
And
one
he was
knows.
like, butterfly.
If you've seen that video, do some research for us because we haven't done that.
Anyway, my grandma came down for Thanksgiving. She surprised us,
Surprised us for everybody.
which was nice. I love my grandma. She's like 84, I think. So she's old. She also survived the Holocaust, literally left Germany to live in Shanghai, and then for like 12 years and then moved to the United States, which I think we've told that story before on here.
Probably.
But, it's always fun to remind people.
Yeah.
Got
Well,
German blood running through these veins.
That's right. And the Holocaust
Jewish-
actually did happen. Indeed. Very much happened.
Yeah. And she definitely lost family.
Truly. She
Like
told me a
aunts
lot
and
about
uncles.
it.
Mhm.
And yeah.
Who
aunts and
chose not
uncles,
to
yeah.
come on.
Yeah, I've had that thought. I was like, I can
On the
understand why
ship.
people would be like, what are you talking about? Things are fine. And then they're not fine.
Yeah.
But life in history is weird like that. It was good to see her and have her in town.
Yeah, it was
of
fun. We
course.
played cribbage, which probably no one even knows what that is, but it is
No.
one of my favorite games. I wish you would learn how to play, but you haven't, and you probably won't.
I'm oddly enough not a big game player.
I do know that. I do like cribbage though, and it's lots of math. It's gonna be really fun to play with my.
That sounds invigorating. It actually sounds up my alley because the game I play the most is Sudoku.
I know you would
And it's
actually.
not just Sudoku, it's killer Sudoku.
I know.
And so it is all math.
So you would really like this game, I think.
But I don't
honestly.
like math. I just like Sudoku. So I don't know.
I know. I don't know.
And cribbage sounds a lot like cabbage, which
Cribbage.
makes me feel like it's a smelly fermented
Yeah.
game.
But I think Brooklyn would like it eventually. She get competitive and make her be better at math.
We also did play Uno with my mom and
and
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
which
And
was good.
boy,
My
oh boy.
mom, she was ruthless with Brooklyn
Oh,
at the
she
end.
was. Brooklyn was ruthless with everyone though, and she's like old enough now that she's actually playing on her own. Like she doesn't
Yeah.
need help.
She doesn't, but I spared her because I could have won. She had one card, I had one card,
should
and I
have.
could have played it,
You should have.
but I drew one instead because I'm
And mommy won instead.
wonderful. No, then Grand, my
Did she
mom,
win?
gave her a
Draw
Brooklyn
four.
a draw 4. So Brooklyn lost. Maybe those are two
I
games
think
that
I
I'm
won.
putting
It
together.
doesn't matter.
But either way, I was like, oh, how rude.
Could have.
Yeah.
How rude. But we did that. We had Thanksgiving with your mom, which you already said.
Which
What
was
else did we
lasagna
do?
this year, which was delightful, and smoked tri-tip, which
Yeah.
was great. Always fun to get a smoked dish in there.
Yeah. We did not go Black Friday shopping. However, I did buy 2 new photo booths during the Black
oh
Friday
my gosh.
sale
Can we talk about that?
to add to my collection,
So
or to my business.
we mentioned that we have a lot of gigs this week. Honestly, it's a lot like the week before Thanksgiving too. There's
yeah,
just
just
so
very busy.
many gigs, double booked on days.
I know, but I did tell you, I was like, this week is like the hard week. I'm booked almost every day, double booked on 1 or 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then next week I have like 3, maybe 3 or 4 gigs. And then the next week I only have 2.
Are you
so
like
we are
3
dwindling down.
Are you? But when you look at it, do you go like, I have 3 gigs, only 3? Like 3's fine. Does it feel like that? Does it feel like a slow week?
It feels like a good week. Like I'm like, yeah. 3 makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
If I had a week where I had 3 separate gigs, because I have plenty of times where I'm doing the same gig for like 3 to 5 days or something. But if I had 3 different gigs in a week, I would be like, kill me.
I know. 3 different gigs a week.
It's a
But
little
you
bit
have had
different
that.
but I would have to be
Yeah.
on stage. I'd have
I
to
know.
know a new company and be the face of that company for the event or
That's true.
whatever.
Mine's a little bit different because I get to come set up my equipment and make people smile and take their photo.
Yeah.
And then I get to tear down and leave.
Honestly, I have fallen in love with your business a lot more than
know.
I did when we started because it was only a source of anxiety
I know,
for
not
me for a
anymore.
long time.
Now just me.
Yeah, you've taken all of that anxiety. You know, whenever your kid gets sick or something and you're like, I wish I could just take that from them. I would be sick so they don't have to. Or they break their arm and you're like, I wish I could just take that
Yeah.
thing. You've taken that anxiety.
Yeah, I
Was
have.
it worth it? I bet it wasn't.
I don't have as bad of anxiety as you
No.
have had in your life. And it's interesting because like weeks like this, like I don't think I have anxiety. It's only when things go wrong. Like I'm doing a Polaroid
Oh,
activation
for NBC
for NBC, and I'm using like their
graphics.
it's not quite their graphics,
IP?
but yeah, it's like their IP. It's like things they made, right?
Yeah.
Like the Grinch is going to be on the back of it, which is
Right.
like NBC Universal.
Like the Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
Grinch.
like his arm, like in it with the thing, with an ornament. And so I only get stressed out when I'm like, I've ordered the Polaroid covers. They're here, all the things. I'm going for my trusted printer. And then I got them and I opened them up and I was like, wow, like I think I counted 270 of the 800 I ordered are like the what's it?
The color?
No.
The print?
Well, the print is bad, but the writing is blurry. Like whatever was going on with their printer, it like blurred the writing.
Yeah.
Or like on some of them, it's like the Grinch's arm is like a different color. Like there's a yellow line above it or something. I'm like, you can't make that mistake or have those be a part of the mistake when it's the company's IP.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I designed something on Canva and it looks a little different than I designed it.
Yeah, and
it's not that.
and I did design this on Canva for the record, and some of it does look different, but it's hard because like I think you haven't even really seen it yet, and you're kind of colorblind, so you couldn't really tell. But like it's meant to be like white writing on like a green background with like the Grinch and all the stuff, and then their logos and things like that as well, which is also a part of their IP. Whether it's not necessarily their intellectual property as far as characters,
but branding,
but it's their NBC logo and their Universal logo. Like it is them, but it's like off color. Like some of it's blue instead of white, or some of it's yellow instead of white. I'm like,
thank God you ordered double what you thought you'd need.
Truly, honestly, I felt like I needed like 600, so I'm a little bit shy of that. But it sucks. I have like the pile of like these ones are definitely good, and I'll give these out, and then I have the pile of like
maybe
this is like second. Like when we run out, we'll like start giving these out for the night, and then I have like the ones that I'm just like I can't use it. You can't because when you close it and look at it, it doesn't say like whatever I know what it is. I'm not gonna say, but it doesn't say like the department name correctly. So like. It's just dumb. I have reached out. I'm hoping to get a refund. They have not got back to me, so I'm going to reach out again now and give them specific photos. Numbers. I did.
Okay.
Well, no, there wasn't an option for that, but I said I have photos. I have photos of the stuff.
What an adventure to run your own business.
All that to say, that's the only time that I have anxiety is when I do the things to make it happen, but then there's something that happens that's out of my control. Like I physically can't print these on my own. I have to send them off to someone to get them printed.
Yeah.
And so to get them back and be like, I have them with enough time to go through them all, which I have, which is great. But like, it's stressful because I'm like, well, what if I need all of these?
And I don't think we even talked about this on the show, but your photos in motion take a very special type of plastic and paper sleeve, really cardboard and plastic.
Yeah.
And through a series of events, you ordered those, but in a different, we'll say like size.
Yeah.
Like where
it's
it
like
would still, and it looked
that.
like trash. But with all of the gigs you have, I know you go like, okay, I've got the lenticular or I've got the whatever. I've got the Polaroid sleeves. But I'm not going to really look at them until I get closer because I've got 10 gigs between then and now.
Yeah.
And then when you look and you're like, oh no,
it's wrong. Yeah.
That is always what's given me anxiety about, particularly the photo booth gigs.
I'm on top of it. I cackled this morning and you called me. You said I was Wicked Witch. You didn't really say that. What did you say? You said I was.
I don't remember this.
Oh, you said I was a super villain. I was cackling in the car.
Yes.
And you were like, what are you laughing about? Are you laughing at someone's like
misfortune?
Misfortune? I said yes. And you were like, you are a supervillain. But I like have, because of last year and just because I'm on top of stuff, I like ordered all the paper that I need for it on all like the ink, all the different things I need, and people cannot find stuff now. I'm like, well, that's what you get. Be prepared. Ugh. It's December. But I, on the other hand, have like, I don't know, 3 unopened boxes of media and a whole thing filled of my media stuff. And they're like, I can't find it.
Bleep that out. We don't want people coming after her.
I'm going to need it all with all the gigs I have. So flying to Louisiana, doing a bunch of gigs out here in LA.
You're crazy, girl. You're crazy. Well, enough about our life and business. And I didn't even get to talk about my dinner with 5 strangers that I went on.
We'll talk about that in Hardly Working Through It.
That's exactly what we'll do. If you're interested in the fact that I went on a dinner date with 5 strangers, where I went, how good it was, how bad it was, and everything in between, that's this Friday on Hardly Working Through It.
I'll be asking the questions. To give you insights. All the questions we want to know. Okay.
Well, today is December 4th, despite what I thought when I was putting the show together. I put a whole show together for December 11th, the day before Kellie's birthday.
It was so funny. He was like, it's your birthday episode. I was like, what? He's like, we're going to talk about what we did for your birthday. I was like, what do you mean? It's like 2 weeks away. What do you mean? He's
I was like,
no.
yeah, it'll be your birthday the day after this airs.
I was like,
so we'll talk about what we're going to do and stuff, and then we'll talk about what we did on the next episode.
I'm like, that's not where we're at.
Oh man, I was a whole week ahead in my brain.
Ahead. We're not doing stories yet. No, we're doing that happened today.
Do you have a story?
I do have a story, sucker.
Let me skip past this game I created about Kellie. Save that.
We'll do that next week.
December 4th. It's time for
That Happened Today.
The day is September 4th, and I've been tweaking the way that I'm doing this, trying to get some more things that I like in here, some things that are interesting.
I think that that's important.
We've been getting a lot of World War stuff. like historical things, and that just doesn't feel like what I want to talk about in this season, or honestly ever.
It's okay.
So I've got some fun things for you. A couple films were released. One that I hadn't heard of, Brothers in 2009. Do you know about this? Tobey Maguire and Jake Gyllenhaal and Natalie Portman. Isn't that Brokeback Mountain? Seems a little Brokeback.
Brokeback Mountain was not bad. Brokeback Mountain was.
Was that not Jake Gyllenhaal?
It was, but may he rest in peace.
Heath Ledger. Yeah. Well, that happened. Do you know about Krampus, though?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Because they made it into a movie in 2015.
Yeah, it's a scary movie, isn't it?
Yes, a
Like,
horror
really scary.
comedy that brings the folklore of Krampus to life
Yeah.
during the Christmas season. I don't know a ton about this.
The Krampus reminds me of The Bleakin'
is gonna
wish that you were never born from Bob's Burgers.
I was like, I hope I can come up with the harmony here.
It was great. It was a good.
Didn't do it very well.
It was good. That's what the Krampus.
Yeah, kind of
reminds me
like that. It was like I'm going to say somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, it's a scary one. Like,
Austria,
you're not good
Germany,
or whatever. They'll come
something.
and take
yeah,
you.
it's like you don't get coal for Christmas if you're bad.
You get taken.
I almost called it the Bleakin'. That's so funny. Krampus comes and I think takes bad children.
Yeah, something like that. So
People
be good.
were mean to their kids.
Really trying to get their kids to be good.
Mean to right? Yeah.
You couldn't tell Brooklyn that. She would freak.
Yeah.
She'd never sleep again.
Be like, hey, if you're not
I'm really good. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I kicked the wall.
Oh my gosh, our daughter kicked the wall on accident, like with her heel this week.
Dented it.
Dented the wall. She also, I don't think we said this on the show. I was like, it's very difficult to describe, but imagine our kid's back was against my chest and we're standing and I had my arms wrapped around her body. She tends to pick up her legs and hold them and then just have me like carry her through almost as
She's
if
getting
like,
too big for that.
yeah, almost as if like I'm a car and she's like sitting in front. But we went into our bathroom and the door was closed and she just wasn't thinking. And she kicked the door so hard that it flung into the wall and the little lock mechanism on the door handle broke the wall.
And
I
we
was
tried
like,
to fix it
"Oh
twice
my
and it's still not
gosh."
fixed.
Yeah, it's not like a little putty's going to fix it, which we did. We fixed it, painted it.
We got to like fill it again.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, she hit
thought
a
it
wall.
was so funny and I was so upset.
I thought it was pretty funny too. But only because I knew she didn't do it out of malintent.
Yeah, sure.
So that
I'm just
happened
kidding.
today.
That was it. That didn't happen today. That happened a couple of weeks ago.
We had a couple. I've got more things that happened, but it's just I ordered them differently. A couple birthdays today. I don't know where we stand on Jay-Z anymore.
It's not my birthday.
No, it's not even your birthday.
And I don't
episode.
care about him.
Yeah,
I'm also. I think he's on the P Diddy side. Can we say his name?
So that's why I don't know where we're at with Jay-Z. But
sorry, I'm not.
Happy birthday, Jay-Z, for all those who celebrate. How about that? Tyra Banks' birthday is today
That's
too.
better. Happy birthday, Tyra.
Supermodel,
Tyra.
television personality, and producer.
Sorry that you get kicked off Dancing with the Stars. It's cool. I think she might still be a producer or something on that.
Probably that's what happens when they kick people off. Like what's his name from Bachelor? Chris Harrison.
I think he was happy to step down, give
You know
him
what?
some of his life back.
I agree. Jeff Bridges,
He's an actor.
yes, from the Big Lebowski.
Okay, what else is he in?
Iron Man 2.
Okay, what else?
Who
was he in Iron
Probably
Man?
lots of stuff.
I know. I can see him. He's like the big burly guy with like the beard and the.
Yep, the dude is who you're thinking of, and
he's in something. He's in something that I would really know him in.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sure someone's yelling it at their radio. Radio. What is this? 1995.
Yeah. Who are you?
What'd you find?
I'm not there yet.
Because if you're gonna research, you gotta do it quick. Stalling. A brooming.
Kingsman, The Golden Circle. He's champ.
Champ.
Have we seen that one?
The Golden Circle's the second one. That one rules.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
He's the guy. He's the big guy.
Oh yeah, but he's
Because
not.
they all have that accent.
He's not the Scottish guy.
No. Let me see. But that's probably what I know him from.
That guy. Mountain Mama.
He's not
Take me.
He's
home.
in Tron.
Tron, of course, in Tron
Kevin
Legacy.
Flynn.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I know him.
Yes. We all know Jeff Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for wasting your time, everyone. It's Jeff Bridges' birthday,
Yeah.
and I don't
Happy
know
birthday.
if it's. I don't know if it's this week or next week because I put the wrong show together before.
That's okay.
But either today or this day next week is the fictional birthday of his character from The Big Lebowski,
Wow.
the dude. So
Happy birthday. That happened today. Thanks.
that's right.
December 4th. What month are we in? I nailed it.
First time. Also, it's Marisa Tomei's birthday.
Don't know who that is.
She plays Spider-Man's mom in the new Spider-Man movies.
Aunt. She
Uh-oh.
died. Spoilers.
Uncle Ben and Aunt May got there.
She was great.
By the way, you can't say the spoiler and then say spoilers.
It's been out for years.
Still. She was also in My Cousin Vinny and the Wrestler.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly who she is. She's great.
Oh, here it is. The dude's fictional birthday. So they must have given that character Jeff Bridges' actual birthday. So that's cute. I like that. Couple things left
Thanks,
to mention.
December 4th.
Do you know who Amy Robach or TJ Holmes are?
TJ Holmes?
You know TJ Holmes? Or are you thinking Patrick Mahomes?
No.
Don't look it up. I'll tell you who they are.
Is he from Bones?
No.
Are you sure?
No. I mean, I would doubt it based on what this
Let me see. It's a
that I'm
picture.
about to tell you is.
Go for it.
Well, I didn't know that. How could we miss a scandal like this? Because I want to hear about the tea. Just stay out of
Oh,
mine.
no, I don't know him.
Well, apparently Amy and TJ were, I believe, the co-anchors on Good Morning America. And on this day in 2022, just 2 years ago, news broke about the romantic relationship between them, whom were both married at the time. How did we miss that? Your parents watched GMA. How did they not tell us this?
They probably did tell us this. Why isn't he on here?
You know what's funny?
I'm listening.
Is if this is a movie, like if this is the movie version of Good Morning America, like we're celebrating this. We're like, they're perfect together.
They're perfect.
I don't know who these people
together.
are, but
See-
we're celebrating it. What are you showing me?
TJ Fine.
Fine. Yeah. Oh, he's the dude who gets.
He's Jack Hodgins. That's what I thought you were saying. I was like,
No.
yeah, I know who that is. I don't.
So in your head, does someone who looked like Jack Hodges, did he have an affair 2 years ago?
No.
Oh.
No, I looked it up and saw who he really looked like. That's crazy. I can't believe we didn't hear about that. They kept it under the radar. I mean, they are the news, so they can control it.
I guess. Well,
Wow,
not
that was
really.
deep.
Not if it gets out. Oh, that was deep. Dang. Snaps.
Sorry for your ear
Like
holes.
slam poetry. Yeah, sorry. We just had some bubble wrap in the studio.
Yeah.
There's one more thing I want to mention.
Okay, thank you, December 4th.
Do you say that? Are you saying that after everyone now? Is that the rhythm?
Sometimes I say that. I don't know.
Sometimes you do.
We're wild and crazy this week.
We're wild and crazy guys.
What are you going to tell me?
I always get excited when this stuff happens.
Okay, what stuff?
On the day.
Okay,
Even though it's not a place that we love.
what happened?
But on this day,
Yeah.
December 4th, 1954, the first ever Burger King opened.
Dang, that Whopper.
You know what it was originally called? I guess it was not Burger King. I mean, it's still in the name, but
Burger
boy,
Palace.
was it bad. Insta Burger King.
No,
I get it. They're like, what would communicate fast service?
it's instant.
Insta Burger King.
Insta, like Instagram.
Insta-Burger King.
Insta Burger King.
Anyway, it was in Miami, Florida, laid the foundation of one of the biggest global fast food chains, of course. Finally, something that I like, fast food discussions. Thanks, Burger King.
Thanks, December 4th.
Did we go to a Burger King or did we talk about doing that?
We went to Burger King. We got a Whopper. It's very...
We did? No, we didn't. I've never had a Whopper.
Yes, you have.
Guys, I've had a Whopper. Did I like it?
No, it was...
Did it have cheese?
It
Because I
did.
thought we talked about doing that
Did
for
we
the
not get a
Addams
Whopper
family. I'm
with
pretty sure we
cheese?
didn't.
We maybe just got burgers from Burger King. I thought it was Whoppers, just burgers, but they're very smoky.
Yeah, I think they
Remember
tried to
that?
do the charbroiled
It's like a char
grill
grilled
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, and I don't particularly like that.
it's not for me.
No.
It's not for me. Well, those are all the things that are worth mentioning.
Thanks, December 4th.
With confidence.
Thanks, December 4th. Thank you for joining me.
Now, let me just skip past all the things for December 11th.
That'll be for next week.
Yada, yada, yada. Schindler's List. Yada, yada, yada. Lord of the Rings.
The only
Yada,
thing that
yada,
matters is
yada.
the day before I was born. So,
And that is already on the list as I type it right now. Let me ask you a question.
okay.
We all spend money on stupid things, right?
Never.
We all spend money on
Always.
things that we want but don't need, right?
Right.
Especially in the
That was
holiday season.
sarcasm when I said never.
I don't read it that way.
Got it.
Of course I did.
Always.
We're known to spend some time and money on things that we don't need. What amount of money would you have to spend on something you don't need to be like, that was a mistake? And I'm not talking about like, because if you spend $20 on something and it doesn't work out or
like
whatever,
$100.
you think it's like $100 for you?
That's my max. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I had $100. I mean, I'm already.
You wouldn't care. Well, you'd
I'm
be
already
like,
questioning whether or not I should buy it. Let's be clear, but maybe even $50. I'm not. Hear me when I say I know that we buy like some stupid tchotchke things sometimes that we're like we maybe never used it or whatever, or maybe it just didn't work out.
sure.
But I never tend like if it's $50 or more, I'm like, really, it's going to live in my cart for a long time before I actually purchase it.
Of course.
And then normally what happens is you and I will talk about it. I'll be like, oh, you were thinking that too? Okay, now I'll buy
Purchase. Sometimes we need a little push.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like, I don't tend to, and I don't think you do either. We don't tend to buy things that are quite expensive.
Yeah.
If it's $5 or if it's under 20,
If it's under 20,
we just buy it.
Yeah,
You're like, look
and
what I got.
I hesitate to say things like we don't ask each other about it because we
No.
talk about everything, but we've never asked permission to do anything like in terms of purchasing.
No, normally,
Like I told you, like I need a new car.
I was like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it wasn't like, hey babe, is it cool if I get a new car?
Although that is a bigger purchase that we have talked about and should talk about and people should talk about. Let's be clear.
It's ridiculous when like a Lexus commercial comes on and there's like a brand new Lexus with a giant bow in the driveway.
It's like, I bought you this. It's like, you did what?
What?
Yeah. But little things like coloring books or new markers or, I don't know, a lantern for the bathroom so that I can bathe with a light on.
Yeah,
but not the 3 lights that my dad put in, which I love, but are too bright for bathing.
Too bright for baths.
Yeah, baths. Sorry, not bathing, baths.
Yeah, you're describing this very sexy.
Well, I'm not
Some
trying
people
to.
can be like,
but like,
Kellie.
you can buy that. You don't need to ask me about it. It's like a nice
Babes.
surprise.
That's true. I agree. For me, definitely, if I'm at the $100 mark and it's iffy, I'm probably not doing that.
Link in our
In our bio.
In our bio. Just
to,
kidding.
To
For
buy
the lantern.
it or whatever. Yeah, I was like,
Sorry.
I'm not sure what we're linking, but yes. We did get a few offers recently for podcast. What's it called?
No, but this one's sponsored by Bumbleboo.
Sponsored.
BMBL.
Yeah. Get your Bumble on. I don't know. But it's cool actually to have had some people legit reach out, not just like the copy paste things that
Maybe
you
in
get.
the new year.
We'll see. Yeah, we got more stuff coming up. Stay tuned for our 100th episode. Anyway, I think 100 is it's definitely a limit for me. Anything over 50, I'm always like, let me
do I
think.
need it?
Like
Yeah, I
50
think
and
that's where
over
I'm at,
seems
too.
like a lot, which means $550
It's way too much.
$1,000
Wow.
is way too much.
What car was bought?
It
Or
wasn't
house?
a car. It wasn't a house.
What
In
the heck
fact,
was it?
Might I call it affection?
No.
Might
do
I
it.
call it literally actually for someone to say something?
Oh my God. Is it like those cameos?
Kind of, sort
Do you know
of.
what I'm talking about? Where you
Yeah,
like
totally.
a
You pay a
celebrity,
celebrity,
to wish
yeah.
my friend happy birthday.
Yes, but simpler than that. Here's the story. Chinese man sends $550,000 and family's life savings. That's not even a part of the life savings. $500,000 and the family's life savings, sends it to a streamer so she could call him bro. This is some next level nonsense.
What?
So this guy, whose name is, or at least his handle is Hong, he's in China, and he became obsessed with this streamer, which is not the most ridiculous thing we've ever heard.
I mean, OF is a thing for a reason.
Funny you should mention that. This is not OnlyFans, but I do have something to talk about after that about that. But he was obsessed with this
You
streamer.
can check out my OnlyFans. I'm just kidding. I don't
Check
have
out
one.
my Only Feats. He had a desire for her to call him brother. I don't know why.
Brother.
Here's what he did. He exhausted his family's life savings, and after being cut off by them, stole copper materials worth approximately $316,000 from his family business to fund his donations to this streamer.
Did she give it back?
It says nothing about what she did.
I mean, it's not her fault. Let's just be clear.
Well, see, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about too, is like, who's ethically, it's bad if you know you're taking advantage of someone to the tune of $500,000.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. It's
But
not.
also, we were watching. Sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you can't control what other people do. Like if you're gonna gift someone $100 and you didn't talk to me about it, it's not that person's responsibility to give it back to me because I'm upset about it. But that's $100 at $550,000. I feel like it's unethical at that point. If the family were to come forward and be like, "That's
don't send me any more."
No, but if the family were to come forward and be like, "That was our life savings, he took it and stole it," the right thing to do for that person would be to be like, you know what, like,
You're right. Here it is.
I'm gonna give
Right.
most of it back.
The right or ethical thing, but not necessarily the legal thing.
Of course,
right?
100%.
Which is what's crazy.
She could totally keep it because it was
Yeah.
a gift given to her.
And who
It was an
like
exchange.
who live streams or does whatever without like needing to make money off of that or wanting to make money. It's an astronomical amount of money.
But you make money for live stream, like for the people that like you make money whether people give you stuff or not. Yes.
I don't know. But you and I were watching a video, recently that was talking about men being so shocked that these women who have OnlyFans are making millions of dollars truly a month.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Some of them. And this woman broke it down. It's like these men are mad that these women are profiting off a system that
they created.
The men created because of wanting the female gaze and wanting to see women. And now women just figured out how to monetize the thing that men have just taken from them for so long. I'm like, I'm for it. In general, make your money. Live your life. But I do agree that I would consider that unethical. Also, he confessed to over 40 thefts and surrendered himself to authorities, acknowledging his actions, that they were motivated by his fixation on the streamer's acknowledgement.
This is what I would say, though. Technically, now it is legal because if he said that he stole the money,
it is illegal. Yes, because
then that money is stolen and should be recollected and given back to where it was. So at the end of the day,
how much copper do you need to find to make $300,000?
Apparently their family had it. Maybe they have more money. Maybe they're okay.
But as I did get curious. So I wanted to find out if there was more stories like this.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Turns out, you wouldn't believe it.
How many people have done that?
There are. I just put together 5. Another one. Colorado pharmacist husband spends $130,000 on OnlyFans.
Do they give him pills?
What?
Pharmacist husband.
Oh, yeah. So
Did they give pills?
It doesn't say anything about that other than the fact that in 2021... this person's wife discovered that her husband had secretly spent $130,000 on OnlyFans content.
Could you imagine
if
one of us did that? I mean, I would know.
Listen, you would, because you know all of our finances.
Yeah.
This financial strain occurred while she was undergoing chemotherapy for breast cancer, leading to marital issues and financial ruin.
I'd leave you. I'm sorry. I love you. But if you did that, I'd be like... If we're at the point that you're now on OnlyFans and you're giving $130,000 of our hard monies away while I have cancer and I'm undergoing chemotherapy, I'd be like, dude.
That's kind of what pushes it over, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be outrageous for me to do even $135,000 to anyone or anything.
But the fact that I'm like trying to fight to stay alive.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
deuces.
Bye.
You need to find a better husband.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe.
You would never do that though.
No. But if I did, what we had was beautiful. Number 2, man refinances his home to support a catfish scheme. Now this is right up our alley.
How can people still catfish in this day and age?
I don't know.
Has anyone seen the TV show?
Or the movie, but usually the TV show. I don't know, because there's also so many more like checks now, I think. Like, I think you have to, if you're going to do something that requires you to have a photo, I think you have to like upload a photo, not upload a photo, but like an actual camera picture or your ID or something. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of safeguards, but that hasn't always been the case. Like this guy, a man refinanced his house to provide funds to an individual he believed to be in a romantic relationship with online.
No.
The catfish scenario resulted in significant financial loss and personal distress upon the realization of the deception. Of course it did. Let me go through these faster. Number 3, Twitch streamer Slicker. I don't know. Maybe that's not right. Borrows thousands under false pretenses. This Twitch streamer admitted to borrowing large sums of money from fellow streamers and fans, claiming financial hardship. It was later revealed that these funds were used to fuel his gambling addiction, leading to a loss of trust and financial strain. Of course, the last 2, OnlyFans subscriber manipulated by chatters. That was interesting to me, a little bit different. Investigations reveal that some OnlyFans subscribers were unknowingly interacting with quote-unquote chatters, individuals hired to impersonate content creators. These chatters employed deceptive tactics to encourage subscribers to spend more money, fostering false hopes of genuine romantic connections.
That's crazy.
Honestly, this is going to be the business model. With AI and deepfakes and all that stuff, why would you put yourself on a camera or whatever when you're going to have, I'm telling you now, you will have whole entire companies dedicated to having deepfake or AI versions of women that are going to cause people to do this exact same thing.
It's crazy.
This is what is already starting to happen and will continue to happen.
It's crazy. I don't like it. It's crazy.
Yeah, we'll skip the man loses his life savings on online cam girl. Just know that it happened. Just know, like, guys, don't.
It's out there. Don't do it.
Don't do it. This I've got obviously a couple more stories. I always have a lot of stories. This one stood out to me in a weird way because it's a blend of people's kindness, no good deed going unpunished, and also some experience that we have. Is that what she says?
Yeah.
Which one's Elphaba?
The green one.
The green one.
The second half in the part 2.
I'm not going to lie. Elphaba sounds like the pink witch's name, and Galinda sounds more like the name they would have stuck with a green witch. So I'm never getting it right. I'm never going to get it right.
Elphaba.
As Kellie sits in the studio in her pink Defying Gravity sweater.
Yeah, and as we sent our daughter to school in her new Wicked shirt with our matching pink sweaters and her Wicked bow that she got from Ashley May and her Wicked cup for Elphaba Green. She's like, Wicked! I'm like, get it, girl.
Yeah, she got out of the car at the same time as one of her friends, and the first thing her friend said, she's like, oh my God, I saw Wicked. It was so great.
Because Brooklyn, when I'm wearing all Wicked today, and she goes, oh my gosh, it's so great.
I cracked down Kelly's window. I was like, you're going to want to hear this. It's fun.
It's like, yeah, girls. They didn't hear me. They didn't care.
Yeah, we were... God, we're such nerdy parents.
I know, I don't care. Sorry, I keep going with your
So here's the deal. Rather than set it up, I'm just going to tell you what this one is. IHOP server of 13 years says she was fired after giving a man in need a stack of pancakes. Now, in the title alone, it raises some questions.
Yeah, I'm like, she could pay for the pancakes.
And that's one of the questions. She did pay for the pancakes.
So what's the problem?
The problem is... essentially, a homeless person that was hungry, and she was like, I am a server here. I will pay with my own money to give you a stack of pancakes. The manager didn't like that. And the manager goes, it's not safe. We don't want people like him loitering here. It's, off-putting to the customers to have a homeless person here sitting, not even in, well, they didn't mention if it was inside or outside. I assume it was probably outside. So he ends up firing this lady. Well,
she'll get a job somewhere that actually wants her.
Unless she goes back to IHOP, because, of course, IHOP corporate has released a statement about this.
100%. They fired the manager. Did they?
Actually, I don't think it ever said anything about that, but here's what it did say. IHOP reiterated its dedication to creating an inclusive environment and supporting those facing food insecurity after the incident gained media attention. Of course, you have to get there first. After it's gained media attention, IHOP's corporate office intervened, offering the woman her job back, compensating her for the lost wages, and donating to charity, a charity of her choice. So essentially, they were like, oh, you can come back. Like, we want people like you. We'll even pay you for the days you missed. And, we'll make a little donation to a charity. This does nothing for this poor woman other than put her back in the situation that she was. Yeah. And she seems like a legit dude or legit woman.
Yeah, listen, any company would be happy to have her. Grateful to have her. Someone that cares about people and that isn't stealing from the company, but is like, I'm going to do this with my own money to 100%. Do this. And she probably already found a job. But I'd be like, yes, pay me for the time that I wasn't working, but and give money to this charity. And I'm not coming back.
Yeah, and I will start December 32nd.
Yeah.
This year. The reason it stuck out to me is because we've run into similar issues with our jobs in green rooms. If you don't know, a lot of most, if not all of the work that I do, part of it requires like a space for me to be when I'm not on the stage, which also usually has snacks and drinks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it is way more than you could ever eat.
Oh, yeah.
Or anything. It's like you could put,
donuts. We want donuts. Okay, well, here's a dozen donuts for just today.
Here's a dozen chocolate donuts.
Yeah. I'm like,
it's like, okay, good.
There's
that's
two
awesome.
of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to eat
And to your
12.
knowledge, there's only supposed to be one.
Yeah. And here's bananas and blueberries and strawberries and some yogurt.
15 pastries.
Yeah.
And
which I understand right now likely sounds like the champagneiest of problems. But here is what happens. We solve this problem before we get there. We were doing a gig in Vegas and we had all this extra food. And I was like, what do they do with this stuff once I'm done?
Like they throw it away.
They throw it away every day.
Now.
Probably after every meal.
Yeah, and they didn't used to do that.
Yeah, this was post-COVID.
But they used to give it they used to donate it to the homeless.
Well, that's what we wanted to do. We're like, can we just take it and give it to people?
Yeah, and there was a reason why.
They said no, because it's a liability. At least in Las Vegas, they were like, if you give some of our food to these people and they say they got sick, then the casino's held accountable or liable for it. And I was like, that is probably accurate. That's the company policy, but also insane to just waste so much food.
100%.
So
we just offer to people.
Yeah, that's what we try to do to solve that is like, we always tell everybody that we're on the show with, like, go into our green room at any time, eat anything. It's probably going to be Braden eating all the donuts, but like,
Here for it.
our snacks are your snacks. But anyway, I just thought about us and our experience
Yeah.
when I read about this poor lady getting fired for doing a good deed.
Yeah. And it's weird coming from the restaurant industry and like understanding some of that stuff. Hear me when I say our policy was like, we're not going to go out of our way to necessarily bring people in. There is a safety thing and a safety hazard. You have some of these homeless people that are truly like being weaned off or on drugs. And so they are having a difficult time. And there is the safety thing of trying to protect the kids and the families that come and all of those things. And I totally understand that. And at the same time, our policy was kind of like, you know, no one's going to pay for it out of pocket. Like, we're happy to give you a meal. But like if you cause a disturbance, we're going to ask you to leave.
Yeah. And that historically happened to you quite a few times.
It did. But I gave out lots of
thrown at you and
people spit on, different things like that. But we definitely gave out food to like homeless people because like that at the end of the day, like
it's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do. But you have to, it is a weird thing you have to be careful with because I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. In my experience, particularly people that would come to our store were normally on drugs of sorts. Mm-hmm. And so there is like a safety thing. When you have a playground where kids can come in and play inside, you have to be able to protect not only like the kids, but then your staff as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I get it to an extent. And also I'm like, but like, especially a company like IHOP, I'm like, you're making enough money that
you're fine.
Number one, you don't need your employee to pay for a stack of pancakes that probably costs you like $1 to make.
Yeah, but my bigger problem is the fact that she did pay for it and then still got fired. Like
he should be fired because I understand what you're saying, but also like you basically just showed your whole entire staff that if you're nice and kind and you go above and beyond that, sorry, we're gonna fire you.
We need you to do the minimum. Just do the job.
Yeah. So
don't help people.
He needs to be bye-bye.
Out of there. I wonder if it was the IHOP that we went to.
Probably not. Was it in California?
No, I didn't look into that part.
Oh, well.
I'm going to say no.
Perfect.
Because I have a 98% chance that it's not.
Do you have any more stories?
I do.
Oh.
Oh, you have a story.
I do have a story. Go ahead.
Do you enjoy your Pizza Hut wine this week? Our Thanksgiving tradition
I didn't
now?
get Pizza Hut wine.
You didn't?
Marinara sauce, no.
Yeah, if you missed last week's episode, Pizza Hut was offering wine.
But it wasn't marinara. It was like
Of course it was
like actual
You're the
wine.
only person that thought it was
because it was a
tomato sauce.
because it's a tomato wine.
Look, you make a lot of good points.
But you did show me a picture. It wasn't
wine.
It was just wine.
Yeah.
Like a red wine.
Maybe
like not a dark red wine, like a rosé.
Yeah, maybe you can make wine out of anything. I don't know. Fermented fruit. Does it have to be grapes? I don't know. I'm not a scientist, doctor. I'm not a wine maker.
You tell me.
Well, anyway, here's another reason that Domino's is our favorite pizza joint versus Pizza Hut.
What they do.
Well, they're making their very exciting and brand new Goblin Pizza.
Oh my God.
Topped with a bullfrog. That's
Gross.
right. An actual stinking bullfrog. Do you want to see what this looks like? Because believe it or not.
I think I kind of got a peek of it earlier.
Here it is. Look at that. If
Why are there eyes?
What is that? Do you think those are hard-boiled eggs that they put slices of olives and ketchup on to look like bleeding
Marinara
eyes?
sauce, but yes.
Yeah, probably that. No, it looks kind of ketchupy to me. There is a whole deep-fried bullfrog in the center of this pizza, which also looks like it's just got
salad.
cilantro or something all over it.
Yeah.
I was like, this seems fake.
No, where is it from though? Because it's not from here. There's no way we're putting bullfrog on our pizza.
That, you know what? Great question. I've got all of those details. But first, I will say I did look it up and it is not fake. It is actually real. And you know who, if only he still saved his money and didn't give it to the streamer, that man in China could have gotten it.
Oh my gosh.
Because it is in China.
Gross.
They've got
Do
their,
they eat frogs out there?
you know,
frogs?
I'm not here to start any rumors about what animals people eat. That's just not the side of the aisle I land on. So I don't know.
Did you say bats or that's?
Stop it. Anyway, so Pizza Hut in China unveiled their Goblin Pizza featuring a whole deep fried bullfrog as a part of a collaboration with a mobile game called Dungeon and Fighter,
Gross.
which I looked up and does
Is it a
not seem to
bullfrog?
be on our app store at all.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I gotta
They
figure
took it off after this pizza came out.
Yeah,
They were like,
delete it.
can't be part of that.
Here it is. The pizza includes a spicy mala flavored base garnished with parsley. That's what it was.
Parsley.
Oh, on the
Grandpa.
table. And the bullfrog's quote unquote eyes are depicted using halved hard boiled eggs topped with black olives. Dang, I nailed it.
And ketchup, marinara.
They didn't say anything about
I still
the
think
glue.
marinara sauce.
Pre-orders were accepted from November 18th to the 20th
Did anybody pre-order?
at select locations
Okay.
for $31. It does not say how many people ordered.
Yeah.
I was trying
why
to,
would you?
trying to stall. Well, I was hoping it would have been cool if they were like, everyone ordered it. They all love it, but I don't think so. Public reactions. It elicited some mixed reactions, as you might assume.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty pretty weird, but real. I did have to look it up. It says this story is factual according to multiple sources.
Crazy.
Did I hear you brought a story?
I do have a story, and I would say that it really falls in line with our world and our life.
That's good.
A little bit scary.
I always love when
And
you
then
bring
not.
stories. I'm always like, what's it going to be?
Here is, well, I'm going to tell you. Here's the headline.
Okay.
Stowaway who hid in plane's bathroom. Did you read this?
No.
On trip from New York City to Paris causes disturbance on return flight.
On return flight?
So the French officials reportedly removed the woman from her attempted return flight, and she's now in French custody. So a woman who actually is from Russia, but now lives in New York City in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Is this Anna Delvey?
No, but she snuck on to a Delta flight.
Delta. Diet Pepsi is never okay.
Delta, yeah. From New York City to Paris. She hid in the bathrooms.
How long do you think that flight is? It's got to be at least 8 hours.
A long time. It even gives you like the Delta flight number. So, but she got on the airline and went from New York to Paris, but then was caught in Paris by French officials when she tried to make it through security and she didn't have the correct things to get into Paris through customs. So they held her back, and she's in custody now. She's not coming back yet. They don't know what they're going to do with her, but she's originally from Russia.
France, so it's actually pronounced custody.
Custody. You're so funny.
Thank you.
But here's what I need you to hear, which I think is a little bit scary.
Because pastries. Go ahead.
She was able, so I'm trying to get to it.
This woman got on a plane, though. How did she get on the plane?
She bypassed 2 identity verification and boarding status stations to board the aircraft. So she basically
God bless the TSA, really putting in their
she
jobs.
was able to sneak past TSA and somehow, amidst the crazy Thanksgiving holiday rush, was able to also able to sneak onto the plane, which we know how hard that is.
Yeah, we tried.
You have to scan. No, but you have to scan. You have to scan your boarding pass. They don't let you on unless you scan your boarding pass.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You can't get through TSA.
But then why did she hide in the bathroom if she did all that stuff? There was no seat.
No seat for her.
And there's those bathrooms are small.
So what happened is the flight attendant caught her. She discovered the stowaway while the flight was in the air after growing suspicious of her frequent long visits to the plane's bathrooms because she didn't have anywhere to be.
She was in a little cupboard, and a stewardess was like, "Oh no, we're out of toilet paper," and she's like, "Here you go."
Yeah, she probably just found a seat, sat there, and then moved anytime, and then got up and would go to the bathroom and would come back.
Bad idea, sister.
Crazy. But Delta and TSA have not refused, but they have not commented. But Delta is conducting an exhaustive investigation of what may have occurred.
Conducting an exhausting investigation.
I think it's crazy. I was like,
this is exhaustive.
But
it's so thorough.
It's so scary that she was able to bypass TSA, bypass Delta, my airline of choice.
Yeah, but thank God all those people had to take their shoes off. Come on, do better. There's a great episode of Adam Ruins Everything that talks about security theater, which is, in his opinion, what TSA and all of that is most of it is just security theater put in place to make you think you're safer and to maybe deter people from doing that. But they're not you think if they caught a shoe bomb, it wouldn't be on the news. Today, TSA caught a shoe bomb. Thank God. If they were stopping things, it would be on the news.
That was a real thing. There was a shoe bomb, though.
I know. And now, because one time it happened, we all have to take off our shoes.
Well, we don't take off our shoes.
Because we're TSA pre, baby. That's the secret. If you travel at all,
don't do it.
TSA pre.
Don't do it. It's the worst thing ever.
You're right. Actually, it's horrible.
How dare you? Yeah.
Sorry. Don't do it. It will make you miserable, and you might have to take your shoes off anyway.
Secrets. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. More and more people are doing that. But
you'll get stopped every time, like I do, and have to go through the actual machine where you put your arms up and it goes. Shh.
Yeah, it's so violating to have to stand there for 2 seconds.
But I always get picked. Or
you
to have my hands.
always say that. I'm always getting picked and
no joke. The last time we flew, it happened to me and not to you. And I literally thought in my head, I should make him go first because I'm sure I'll get a random screening. And I did get the random screening.
Yeah,
and
but I got the one the other day.
Well,
I like getting screened.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, that was my story. Stowaway from Russia who actually lives in New York, went to Paris, didn't actually get to go, is now in custody.
Look, that chick is living her life. Good for you.
French custody?
Well,
with no return date to her home. sucker.
Just like
Was it
Diddy,
worth it?
It seems like she lived her life her way
I don't wanna
until
talk
she
about him.
wasn't allowed. I'm talking about Custard
No.
Lady. She lived her life from Russia to the U.S. to Paris. She's probably an influencer. Let's be honest. She lived her life until she got stopped, and that's how criminals do it. So I hope you enjoyed it because it's over now.
It's over now.
It's over now. This show is not over.
All right, give me more.
now.
That was my story. I brought a story. Aren't you proud of me?
You know what?
A relevant story. I'm flying on Friday.
You are flying on Friday.
Not to Paris, unfortunately. But
Speaking of flying, I got an unpopular opinion that traveling is
God.
such an unattractive and red flag trait in women. I hate it when women travel.
why?
Can you believe that? Now, I haven't read this person's far too long
I know what side
explanation.
of the aisle you stand on.
Yeah,
You
the
want me to have to
window
answer the
side.
question about where I'm traveling to and what I'm doing when I travel? Is that why you don't want me to travel as a woman? You think I'm going to another state and I need to give you a reason why I'm traveling?
Here we go. Kelly's about to cry.
This is an unpopular opinion, and that person is an unpopular person.
I will tell you this. Ever since the election, the unpopular opinions I pull from are just like flooded with
I'm
not
sure.
election stuff, but political stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's on the line. It
Traveling.
shouldn't be, but because of what JD Vance said about wanting to put like laws up of like when a woman goes to the airport, they have to say why they're traveling. Not a man doesn't have to answer, but a woman has to.
Let me tell
It's
you
kind
this
of on
then.
the line. I'm just there. Unless you can give me a reason as to why this person doesn't want women to travel.
I think he's just a jerk. Let me ask you a political question then, or give you a political opinion.
Okay.
Okay. You can still date someone with different political views.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Do you think you
Not in
ever
this day
could?
and age.
That's what I was going to ask.
I think you could before,
But not anymore.
but not anymore. I mean, we know people that got divorced in 2020 or 2016, or like because of 2016's election.
Yeah. I mean, I heard even more of that talk
Yeah, yeah.
this year than
I'm
any
just
other
saying.
year.
No, I don't think so. Because
Do you think you could have...
let's be clear. I'm going to just be very honest because this is
Sure.
what's happening. I'm tired and I'm here. I'm not in it anymore. Listen, you cannot be, as a woman, you cannot be in a relationship with someone who is of differing opinions for you, specifically in this day and age, because truly the other side or one side believes in woman autonomy, bodily autonomy, and the other side does not. And so there's just there's none of it.
I think the pushback from the other side to your opinion on that would be the way I see it. This is not me. The way that this person sees it is one side wants to protect the sanctity of life and babies.
Sure you do.
And the other side wants to kill them. That's, I think, their take.
Sure. Show me. This is now becoming a political podcast.
I wouldn't say
Show
this is
me-
political.
no.
I think this is ethical.
Show me how you're taking care of kids after they're born, how you're taking care of their moms who can't afford to have these children because maybe they were
Careful.
SA'd or something happened.
Yeah.
And now an accident happened, something they had protection, but it still didn't work. And now they're pregnant, but they can't afford to have a kid. And you're like, all I care about is the baby being born. But after that, you're on your own.
Yeah, remember that
Tell me
story?
how that's saving lives.
Remember
Please.
the story we talked about with that couple who sold their baby for a 6-pack on a camping trip?
Yeah, right. There's that. Or tell me how you want to save lives if you're like, we're going to force people to have like they can't get an abortion, even if it's life threatening.
I know. We've
the
had
mom.
multiple women die recently because of that.
And leave behind their kids. So do you really care about kids and their like being alive and having a parent and all that stuff? Or do you just care about controlling people's bodies and making sure that they can't do the thing that you disagree with as an old man? Please tell me. Because if you really cared, here's the deal. And this is how I really feel. If it really was about protecting kids and making sure that kids don't die, I'm here for it. I need to be very clear. I'm so here for it. But then show me the things that you're putting in place to take care of those moms that need extra help, or to take care of those kids that lose their mom because of something, or to take care of those kids that are in orphanages or like are waiting to be adopted. Like, how are you taking care of all of those people? Or stop having kids yourself and start adopting them. If you really care about kids.
Yeah, George Carlin's got a great bit on that about being actually pro-birth, not pro-life.
Yeah. And I think that we've watched it. I think that's true. You're pro-birth, you're not pro-life. Because then also too, when you get to like, with them getting older, you want them all to be drafted into the military.
Yeah, they're of no use to you until you can send them to war.
Yeah.
To die there.
Yeah. Because
But at least it's for their country.
How many kids do we have living in poverty in the United States? How many kids don't have access to actual like good schooling? but all you care about is like making sure that they make it to the birth.
All right, since we're talking real talk, then I don't think I've said this on the show before, and knowing the trajectory of where you and I are headed in terms of shows, I think people will hear this a lot more in the future. But I will say this. The thing that's always weirded me out is the direct correlation, in my opinion, to pro-life in religion, particularly Catholicism and Christianity.
Yeah.
If you do believe in those systems, truly, then you believe in a system that you would outwardly express that this life is only preparation for the next life.
Mm-hmm.
It is about living a life that glorifies God so that you'll get a bigger room or more crowns and more jewels in your crown in heaven, whatever it is. Both of those religions say that it is living for the next life. If you have a problem with a human or a soul that has to skip this terrible earth stage and gets to go to the infinite heaven stage, then you're just not thinking your religion all the way through. Because if a baby who you think is a human, which I'm not arguing that necessarily because I'm not a scientist, but if you think that that baby is being killed in the womb, then they are going to where you and all of your other fellow believers want to go. So
Make it make sense.
I think that's the answer. Yeah. Make it make sense.
Yeah. So all that's to say to answer your question, no, I don't think in this political climate that a Democrat can date a Republican.
Do you think you can marry someone with a different theological worldview or religion than you?
So long as it doesn't involve Christianity or Catholicism, yes.
Isn't it? No, I don't mean you personally. I mean in general.
No, I mean that in general too, because but you don't see Buddhists or Muslims or anyone like that really going out there to be like, this is where I stand. And yes, I gave them a Southern accent because that's mostly where they are.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak geopolitically about what people do in other places, but you don't see that in America a lot.
No, but unfortunately, I would say this too, is that, and again, in this political climate, most, not all, because I do know some people that aren't this, but most Christians are also Republicans.
Sure.
Who voted for Trump.
Unfortunately.
And there's a specific stance that they have. And so I do not believe that if you are not in that, I don't think that you can marry someone or be with someone that is that in this political climate, if you're not on the same page.
I agree.
But that, I don't think that's always true. I just think in this,
I think right now
where we're at, when we can elect a convicted felon to office, and not have a problem with him, but have a problem with the women who want to not have kids.
It's
I
very
think
odd.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah,
I just think it's a weird place to be.
If you want to hear more about that kind of talk,
You can go to Hardly Working Through It,
which will soon be named
something else with
possibly.
an SH.
Let's not spoil
You put it where you want to put it.
We have to save it for the announcement on our 100th episode.
Yeah,
which
that'll be next year. Not the 100th episode, but
no. We're only, I believe, 3 episodes away from 100, something like that.
Anyway, what a
political
political question to ask.
Well, I want to ask you this now. Do you want to end on that, or do you want a lighter one?
A lighter one.
Okay.
And I hope anyone listening to this can know, like, I mean, obviously at this point in time, you probably know where we stand, but you probably got that from the election episode that we did. We're not here to hate on people.
No way.
I have an opinion and I have some hurts about this world and like where specifically as a female about this world and where we're at. And I'm pretty scared for the next 4 years. And that is my truth. You don't have to be, and that's okay. I'm here to have open conversations and to hear why you think certain things if it's not what I think. Mm-hmm. And I told you this too. I'm genuinely interested in hearing why people voted for Trump. Like, what was the reason? Or if you are pro-life, like, what does that mean to you? And what do you think about the people that have died because of the strict rules that have been put on? And what do you think about JD Vance's
eyeliner?
Not eyeliner, but his new thing where it hasn't happened yet, but where like women truly can't travel, which I do for my job quite often, by the way, with other females, but I wouldn't be able to travel without having to answer the question of why am I traveling? Basically getting to the fact of, am I getting an abortion in another state? Even though I live in a freaking blue state where like I can if I needed to. Yeah, honestly, I don't know how much of what was talked about or promised is going to come to fruition. True. If the first 4 years of this is any indication, there won't be anything actually. But they are different people in place this time. I don't know. A lot of those people have super villains. Well, yeah. Elon Musk, really. But that's it. What a heartbreak. Anywho. Well, but what I'm saying is I would genuinely be interested in having a conversation because I think there's a lot of confusion on my end of why people
I love that you want to have a conversation and that you think that
Not on the podcast.
anyone could have a conversation about anything like this and be swayed the other way, because you're not going to be swayed about anything.
No,
and
but
they're
I'd
not
like to
gonna
have
be
some
swayed about anything.
understanding.
I just wish it wasn't so polarizing.
I also wish that. And it didn't always used to be this way. I miss John McCain.
As a random poll, but I know why. It's because the video where someone
but
was like, Barack Obama.
He's just such a good guy. But he was alive when Trump was first in office too, and he really like tried to continue to bring people together. And I miss people that are trying to bring people together. And I think that is where I'm at. Of like, we used to be able to cross the aisle.
Yeah, reach across
the aisle. And I think we need to get back to a place where we can do that again. But unfortunately, like, it is so polarizing, but it's scary. And I don't think people understand that. I get that there's fear on both sides. I totally understand that. And at the same time, I'm like, it shouldn't be that way. It should be like, I was talking to my mom who was like, I remember she was saying, like, I remember in years past, like, maybe the person I didn't want to get elected to president, that I didn't want to get elected to be the president got elected, but like, I wasn't worried. I was like, it's not my preference, and they might like do some things, but like, it's not a big deal. She's like, this is the first time that it's ever been like scary.
Yeah, and part of that's probably your age as well. I mean, the younger you are, the less you care about this stuff, and the older you are, the more you're in tune with it.
But my mom said that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I missed that.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. Anyways, let's end on a lighter note.
Well, you used to work in fast food, and
Yeah.
like I like talking about it.
Sure.
Fast food restaurants, if they have a closing time, should operate fully until that time. Anything else is false advertising.
What do you mean by operate fully? Like have everything
That
available?
means if you close at 10, you should be able to serve any of your products till 10.
Yeah.
And as someone who finished a very long string of gigs a couple weeks ago, who opened and then did the after party for Kellie Clarkson and was stuck in a casino that had, like, you couldn't go anywhere. You're on the strip.
Food,
and I just walked all the way down to the pizza place that was open till 2 a.m. and it was only 11 and it was already closed. I can tell you, it is a pain to get there, to walk that half mile.
They were closed, so that's a whole other story.
That's what I'm saying is I'm agreeing with this. Well, yeah, they were closed. What this person's saying is like when you come in to a Subway that closes in 30 minutes and they're like, well, we put away the meats.
Yeah, here's what I'll say. I think that if a place is open until 10 o'clock, yes, I think that they should have
all of their products
available. However, if you come in at 9:59 and you're like, let me order
photo.
No,
I was just wondering where this is coming from.
No, if you come in at 9:59 and you're like, I want all this stuff, you can't be upset and mad if it takes a while or if they're like, I'm so sorry, we can't make that thing. Yeah. It's truly 1 minute until closing.
Yeah.
And normally at that, so you have to understand these people also have time frames they have to get out and do all this stuff too. And if you come in and you're like, I want this special thing with this and this and this.
I want a catering order.
Yeah, like, no, don't do that.
30 nuggets.
30 minutes before is a different story for me.
Yeah.
But like as someone that did work in quick service restaurants, not fast food, quick service.
Call them what you want.
I would say that Chick-fil-A was a quick service restaurant because we hand breaded and did stuff in store.
That is true. You guys went above and beyond.
It's a little bit different. It's more like a habit where they, you know what I mean? Less like a McDonald's.
Yeah, I like the habit.
Me too. But yeah, I would say like there are certain like closing procedures that you do. Like you start to close down certain things because it's slower and you can. It doesn't mean we can't get the things. It just means it might take a little bit longer. But if you come in, which we would have people come in at like I said, 9:59 and like want a bunch of stuff and be really upset when they're like, well, why can't you make me 15? I'm like, well, we can. But it's going to take time. They'd be so upset about it. I'm like, we're 1 minute till closing.
Yeah.
I get that you were in line and that you're like, I want this thing. But also like, I'm just a girl who wants to go home to my family.
Just a girl standing in a Chick-fil-A.
Trying to get you hot, fresh chicken.
Yeah.
And also, I'm going home. Bye.
Bye. And that's what we're about to do here in a minute. We've got, as we mentioned earlier, a packed week of gigs.
Packed week of gigs.
So we'll be talking about all of that on episode 99 when we
Wow.
get back. I didn't think we'd make it this far, but here we are. But before then, you're going to have a Hardly Working Through It to look forward to, where you get to hear the ins, the outs, the why I did it, how it went, and would I do it again of going to dinner with 5 strangers. That's coming up in a few days.
Can't wait.
I can't wait either, but until then, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope your weekend was better than mine, and I hope that the weekend coming up is nothing but fun for you. And we hope you spend most of your time
Hardly working. Bye.